Hey guys, Mark here. Fine shit left me, but I still made $11,000 yesterday. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it with branded dropshipping. Now, dropshipping is nothing new. It's been around for a while. And because of that, everybody typically is telling you the same few things. And this is what I like to call pump and dump dropshipping, also known as churn and burn dropshipping. Now, there's really three main characteristics of pump and dump dropshipping. Number one is you sell this untapped winning product. Like there's all this dialect in the dropshipping space. It's like, oh no, man, you have to get in on a product early so before it takes off, like you can make all this money. You want to sell products that nobody else is selling. That's kind of the first characteristic, which number one is fucking stupid. Number two is you have people that rip content. And so what I mean by rip content is when you actually find, that untapped product, which again, stupid, and you decide to run some paid traffic to it, you steal content off the internet, you steal even ads, like clip by clip, word for word, you maybe change one thing just because you think the metadata is going to be different. And then of course you get all your ad accounts shut down. You can never run ads again. And it's a total pain in the ass. And so that's kind of the second characteristic. And the third characteristic, honestly, the most important of all, is you lose money. And then the best part is that you just repeat this cycle. Like this is what most people do. They try to find like this new untapped product research method that's like the new meta. And then they rip content off the internet to try to sell the product. And then they fail, lose money, and then they go back and repeat the cycle over and over and over again. I have a very different strategy from this. This is a strategy that I've been using for quite a while. It's not the pump and dump, call it the Chad method, call it whatever you want. But it's very, very simple. It's basically the opposite of those three characteristics that I gave you, okay? So instead of selling untapped product, I actually sell what I call validated products, but because I want to stay with the lingo, we'll call it a saturated product. I like to use the word validated because product saturation doesn't actually exist. What does exist is angle saturation. So a marketing angle is a specific way that you're selling a product. Perfect example, everybody buys a product for a different reason. Like not everybody buys one single product for the same reason. Think about why you bought an iPhone. If I asked 10 different people, I could get 10 completely different answers. And it's the same thing with the product that you're selling on the internet in your dropshipping business. Not every person is going to be buying for the same reason. So I like to find products that are already proven to sell. There's already so many variables that are going on when you are running a new business, starting a new business from scratch, which is what dropshipping is. It's not like a side hustle, it's a real business. And when you do that, what happens is there's so many variables. You have the creative variable, the funnel variable, you have the product itself. Is this something actually people want? Why would you want to add more variables to your plate? Find a product that's already proven to sell. And second, we don't rip content. We actually have our own content. Now, this can be done with AI. I'll show you guys a little bit later in the video. But the reality of the situation is so many dropshippers are terrible marketers. So the content that you're stealing, like clip for clip, probably not even proven in the first place. And especially if you follow my channel and you listen to what I say, you can probably outcompete a lot of guys on their creatives, on their copy, on their funnel, on everything, because I try to put out the best content that I can. And then number three, of course, once again, the opposite, you actually make money, put money in your pocket, in your bank account instead of going broke. So dropshipping and making money with e-commerce is actually very, very simple. Notice I didn't say it's easy because it is not, but it is very simple. There's actually only three ingredients that you need. And if you get these three right, then everything else will be really, really easy, but it's not easy to get these three ingredients right unless you watch the rest of this video. So the first thing, of course, is actually finding the right product, okay? So when I say saturated product, let's actually define what this actually means, because it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to actually know how to go about and find this product. So when I mean saturated, is that there's at least one competitor that is selling this product at scale. I want to see at least around $300,000 a month from one competitor. If there's multiple competitors at that scale, guess what? Even fucking better. Like so many people see that as a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually what I call a purple ocean strategy. I believe I took this from Josh Snow, who came up with it first, so shout out to him. But this is when you take the blue market, the blue ocean strategy, which is selling in a completely non-competitive environment, and then the red ocean strategy. You can combine them together so that we're actually selling something that is red. There's a lot of competitors for this product, but the key, the secret, is that you sell this product with a completely untapped angle. Again, because most competitors are typically selling their products on one angle. So you can come in and scoop up all this very, very profitable market share and actually scale your business selling on a completely different angle than whatever your competition is selling at. That is the whole philosophy that makes this work. If you try selling the exact same product with the exact same marketing to the exact same audience, what's going to happen? You're going to lose money. Why? Because they have a data advantage over you. What I mean by that is that they have already spent so much money on their ad account that they have a pixel advantage. They have an ad account advantage. They know exactly what works and what doesn't down to the fucking dollar. And you're never going to outcompete somebody like that. You have to come in with another competitive advantage, which is competing on angles. And so when you're looking for these products, these validated, saturated products, they need to be doing at least $300,000 a month. What I look for is at least 300,000 visits per month with the similar web extension, which I'm going to show you in a second. The other thing that I'm looking for with this particular product is it has to be a problem-solving product in a passionate market. So I know there's a lot of people out there that sell like fashion products or sell cute little toys or whatever it is, but it doesn't directly really solve a painful problem in a passionate market. So you want to make sure that you're selling a product that solves a problem in a passionate market. You need to have those two ingredients together, because at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is just solving problems. So every product to an extent solves a problem, but they're not all in a very passionate market. So this is something that you absolutely want to sell. If I had the choice to choose between a perfect product and a perfect market, I would pick the market every single day. I would much rather have a market of hungry buyers than the perfect product. And the third and final criteria when it comes to finding that product is the margins, okay? By margins, all I mean is like the profitability for you to sell this product at scale without your cost of goods, your cost getting too high, that when you try to scale it, you actually end up losing money instead of making money. So the way that I define this is two ways. Number one, you want to have at least a $20 net margin on your product. So if you find a product, for example, on AliExpress, you can get it shipped for $10. You want to sell it for a minimum of 30. And then the other rule here is 3x your cost of goods sold. So for example, you could find a product $40 on AliExpress and you sell it for 60. You're like, cool, I got the $20 margin. Yeah, but that's not 3x your cost of goods. If that was the case, it would need to be priced at 120. And so as long as the competition is selling somewhere around that price, you can know that, okay, this product is good, is validated, and most importantly, the margins are in place. Now, of course, the question is, how do you actually find these quote unquote saturated, validated products? Well, the free way is to go to Facebook ad library and simply search for keywords. Keywords like shop now, like learn more, like get yours here, and just go through all the ads until you find one that is leading to a website that's getting over 300,000 similar web visits per month. But what I do, because I'm an impatient little shit, I like to use Get Hooked. And that's basically like Facebook ads library on steroids. If you want to get a subscription, just click the first link in the description. What I do is I search something like shop now, but I also have all these other filters over here. So I want to see only winning ads that are still running, that have ran for at least 7 days, that are running on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok in the English language. So I'm just selecting all these filters here. And then the last one, I know you guys can't see this, but the last one is video length. So I'm specifically going to look at videos that are a little bit longer, because typically longer ads are actually more difficult to crack than the shorter ads, but they can also scale a lot farther. So I'm going to select 3 to 5 minutes or 5 minutes plus. So at this point, I'm seeing all the ads that are winning, that are running on Facebook or Instagram, that are doing well. And I'm basically gonna go through these until I find a product that is selling really, really well. And what I'm gonna do is make sure that they're getting at least 300,000 visits per month on similar web. So let me just take a minute to scroll here until I find a good product. Another thing that I'm looking for, you see this number right here? This is the number of active ads in the ad library for that particular brand. If they're doing anything under 30 total active ads, absolutely positively not validated enough for me. So I wanna make sure that I find a brand that also has at least 30 active ads in their ad library. All right, so I spent some time scrolling here and I found this brand here. I've actually seen this brand before. Many of you have. Grounding Well. What they sell is basically grounding bed sheets. You may think like when I open a similar web, they're getting a good fucking amount of traffic. I mean, in December, they did 1.5 million visits, just about 700K in January and 350 in February. So they are scaling down, which is never a good sign, but they're still at such a massive volume that they're very, very likely to probably be killing it to this day. So the reason that I like this is because number one, I know for a fact this product is relatively cheap and they're selling for $100. Number two, I'm looking at what can I outcompete these guys on? What is the main angle that they're selling with and how can I outcompete them on that specific angle? And so this brand here, you can see how many creatives they've been testing over the span of a few months. So last month, for example, they tested 600 creatives, a month before 778. So they are testing quite a bit. And if you look at the domain that they're mostly running traffic to, the URL, you can see that it's just like this standard product page. Now, what I believe that I could personally outcompete these guys on would be the funnel, because I think this is a product that you can really control something. This is really important. So if you guys are taking notes, take note on this. You want to choose products that you can control something called the POV. That's not point of view, you fucks. That is perception of value, perception of value. not every product you can directly control the perception of value, but the products that you can through your copy, through your marketing, through your funnels, those are the products where you can mark up significantly higher than the competition if you position it in the right way. And that's actually a perfect segue, because at this point you have a really, really good product, has great margins, it's proven, it's validated, and you can sell using a different angle. So you have the first ingredient down. Now the question becomes, what is that second real ingredient that you need to actually scale to, let's say baseline 10K a day, right? What you need next is going to be, you guessed it, you need a really, really good funnel. And if you don't know what a funnel is, all I mean when I say funnel is the process of taking somebody who has never seen your business before and funneling them down into becoming a customer. And for most e-commerce brands out there, most drop shippers, they follow the same bullshit strategy that people have been using since 2016. Whereas you set up a basic product page, send all of your traffic there, and just pray, hope that they actually buy your product, because you're never gonna see them again if they don't. That's a terrible, terrible strategy. What I like to do is specifically add pre-sales pages and a more sophisticated post-purchase upsell process to maximize two things. Number one, my AOV, my average order value. And number two, my conversion rate. Because I know, because I've been running ads for a fucking long time, if you wanna scale and you wanna have something that's really, really profitable, you wanna compete on funnel economics, which is these two numbers right here, your AOV and your conversion rate. Because we know one thing to be true. If this is like your existence running ads over here, we have time, and like this is basically your CPA. So you want this to be low. As time goes on, it's natural that your cost per acquisition, your cost per purchase is going to go up. So if your AOV does not rise with it, and you don't have an AOV that's so high, even if your CPA goes up, you're good. If you don't have that in place, you're just not gonna make it. And eventually you're gonna hit a ceiling where you just cannot scale past that number. And so what I like to do is what I call the Chad funnel. And the Chad funnel is actually not even built out on Shopify. This is either built out on Funnelish or on Checkout Champion that I integrated with Shopify, because the most difficult customers to acquire are the cold customers. They've never seen your business before. And if you send them straight to a product page, unless your ad game is fucking like phenomenal 10 out of 10, it's gonna be really, really fucking difficult for you to convert that customer on the first go. So I actually add additional steps to my funnel to properly nurture people. So what that really looks like, if we bring this down to earth, is we'll have a pre-sales page before our actual product sales page. So this is the sales page. This is the pre-sales page. And what I like using best right now are advertorials. And for those that are wondering, what the hell is an advertorial? An advertorial is simply a page that goes before your sales page that is a combination of an ad and an editorial. So back in the old days, in the newspaper ads, this would be somebody literally writing, like a third person article that didn't look like you're being sold to. And if you ever need inspiration for advertorials, the most popular place that you're gonna see them are on native ads. So if you go to a website like weather.com or like Fox News or CNN or any super, trustworthy news site, you'll probably find something like this. Like, I haven't even seen this thing before, but I bet you it's gonna be an advertorial. Let's see. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, cool. Actually, this one is actually a jump page, which is slightly different, but let's find another example here. All right, so we found this advertorial page right here. So notice, when you look at this, right, does it feel like you're immediately being sold to? The answer is no. And that's the power of using something like advertorials. You control the awareness state that people are in. And therefore, if you write copy correctly, you can actually persuade people that the value of your product is significantly higher than your competition. And you can basically sell them subconsciously, where they're getting sold without it feeling like you're getting sold to. Because one thing is true, nobody enjoys being sold to. Nobody. Especially customers on Facebook. They definitely do not enjoy being sold to unless it's like the perfect product, and those are really, really difficult to find. You can take a good product that's proven to sell and people are just buying like crazy, sell it with a unique angle, and set up this Chad funnel and have an advertorial page like this. And this basically is pre-warming your customers before they even get to the sales page right here. Now, after the sales page, you're gonna drive people to an order page. Now, the difference between these two pages, sales page is for you to sell the product. The order page, it's to collect the payment. That's the only difference. And so with the order page, this is where you can have AOV boosters like a quantity discount, like order bumps. You can have premium shipping, like all these different little add-ons you can have to have a small impact on your AOV. And then the real killer that is gonna significantly boost your AOV is gonna be this first upsell. So at this point, like let's say, boom, chop it right there. The payment has been collected. You can actually run upsells post-purchase if you use something like Funnelish or Checkout Champ and collect significantly more cash, which is gonna increase your AOV and help you funnel more of that money into ads so you can scale and make more money in general. So this is called an OTO1 page. It stands for one-time offer. And this page, let's say that people go through, they see this offer, they're like, no, it's not for me. Cool, immediately downsold for 50% off. And then you repeat this process again. So after that, there's another upsell. Let's call that one OTO2. Let's say they don't want down. Cool, another immediate downsell. And the best part about this whole process, guys, is not that, economically you're going to be so much better off, but it's also because one of the things that can add like 10 to 20%, no joke, like up to 20% in sales for you is setting up the proper email and SMS automations throughout this whole thing. For example, if people go to the advertorial, from the advertorial to the sales page, you can collect their email and SMS number. And when you do, guess what? You can remarket to them basically immediately and collect a lot of people that abandon their checkout. We literally have this one automation running, bro. I swear to God, it generates us an extra 15% like clockwork every single day. So if you're running like 10K a day, that's an extra $1,500 in sales that you don't have to pay a dime for. And if you have these set up, if you guys want like a full tutorial on this, it's boring shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's just something like you set up once and it just runs and it just prints and it's beautiful. It'll bring a tear to a grown man's eye. So do it. So yeah, this is really the second thing. If you have like a really, really good funnel structure, and this is what I really so bullish on right now, is just setting up this funnel architecture in the right way. This is just one way to do it. This is kind of the base setup. You can add different steps. Like instead of an advertorial, for example, you could do a listicle, or you could do a jump page like I saw earlier, like this page right here. And a jump page is basically very, very short copy leading to something like a VSL, right? Also a type of bridge page. You can completely customize it. This is not like the best way to do it. In fact, I know some guys that have up to 7 upsells post-purchase. Imagine like OTO1, OTO2, cool, 3, 4, 5, 6, set, like it gets insane. And to an extent, you have to keep in mind the customer experience going through this whole thing. It's not going to be super pleasant. So I think this is like the best base model to start with. If you set it up, man, you are in a really, really good spot. So again, at this point, you have the product in the funnel. Now there's only the third ingredient left that you really have to crack. And that third ingredient is your creatives. And when I say creatives, all I mean is your ads. If you have really, really good ads, I mean really, really fucking good ads, like S tier ads, 1 in 1,000 type ads, it makes everything else easier. Your funnel is going to convert better. You're going to make more money. Your margins are going to be higher, and you're going to be able to scale more aggressively if your creatives are actually good. So what I want to do with you guys real quick, just for this example store, I'll do it for Grounding Well. So there's actually a process I've been using to get really, really high quality copywriting research done almost entirely using AI. So the first thing that you want to do to go through this process is you actually want to identify a competitor. In this case, we'll use Grounding Well. I'll act as if I'm actually writing copy for Grounding Well. This is a great company. I wouldn't recommend competing with them, but all you're going to do is do URL to PDF. All you need is a PDF download of this sales page, because what you're going to do is you're going to take that PDF and upload that into ChatGPT so it can fully analyze all the content related to that specific brand. It's fucking hot as shit in here, bro. I got my AC fixed yesterday. It broke today, again, 2 times in under 24 hours. Fantastic. I love it. Everyone wants to come live in Miami until your AC broke and you start sweating out of your fucking ass cheek. So we got the full PDF downloaded. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop open ChatGPT and start going through and analyzing the copy that was on that page. I promise you right now, like when it comes to writing good ads, there's really like 3 ingredients. I know there's like ingredients. Okay, this is the last one, I promise. The success of an ad, 90% of it comes down to how good that hook is. So the hook is like the first 3 to 5 seconds of the ad, and that's made up of the copy of the hook, so the actual words on that video ad, and then you have the audio, and then finally you have the scroll stopper, which is basically the clip that's being used and being underlaid on the text for the copy. So in order of importance, copy is by far the most important. Then the scroll stopper, this is like 80% of your success right here, these 2 things. And then the last one is gonna be the audio. Now for these prompts, what I'm doing with ChatGPT, by the way, guys, is I'm literally prompting to get a prompt. So I'm actually gonna go to ChatGPT 4.5, and all I'm gonna say initially, very, very simple, highly complex prompt. Please analyze this doc and let me know your thoughts. That's literally it. All I wanted to do is have an understanding of the PDF document, which is a screenshot basically of the entire website, so it can understand like the product that's being sold and just have the details around the brand itself. All right, now that it has completed that, all I'm gonna do now is give it 2 resources for conducting copywriting research, and basically telling it to analyze it and then create a full prompt that we're going to use the deep research feature on ChatGPT 4. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to analyze these docs and then hopefully spit out a full prompt that we're going to use to enter back into ChatGPT to conduct really, really high level copywriting research. All right, now we got the whole prompt here. So I'm literally going to copy all of this. I'm going to exit out of this little window and I'm going to send it right back. And And all I'm gonna do is make sure that I select this deep research button down here so that it actually takes the time to go through and do the deep research that I want it to do. I'm gonna add one little line at the bottom that I want this to be a minimum of 6 pages worth of research. All right, now we hit enter, and it's probably gonna ask us a few clarifying questions here, so I'm gonna quickly answer these. All right, now we hit enter, and now it's actually gonna start working. And it's basically going to act as an AI agent to conduct really, really high level copywriting research so that I can use that to fuel my creatives. Because like I said earlier, copywriting is difficult crap. It's like learning a completely different language. And you can take the time to learn the language and understand it and speak it and write it, or you can just use AI to do all this really difficult research for you, all this time consuming research. It'll actually practically write the ad itself if you go through this entire process yourself. All right, so we let deep research run for a whole 8 minutes. That's a fucking eternity. If you ask me, don't ask fine shit though. And as you can see, I mean, guys, this is fucking mind blowing. Look at all this juicy information, and it goes on forever. And so basically what I'll do is I'll copy all of this information, I'll put it into its own doc, and then I'll basically start cross-analyzing specific ChatGPT window and have it basically create and write full ad scripts for me based off of this intense, deep level of research. And so when it comes to succeeding, like I said, with ecom, there's 3 ingredients. So again, to recap, you have to have a good product, which means a product that's validated and is proven to sell. You have to have a good funnel, which is where we maximize our AOV and our conversion rate. We set up the Chad funnel. And then the third thing is the creatives. And the best way to get really, really good at creatives is number one, just to test a lot, but also do your fucking research. The amount of shortcuts because of AI is just fucking insane. And just by using this deep research tool, you know, I used to use Operator for a lot of my copywriting research. Now I just use fucking deep research on ChatGPT because it's infinitely better. What I'm doing now, however, is basically writing an Operator prompt to write the ChatGPT prompts for me and go through that whole process completely on its own. So it's like an AI within an AI within AI. It's like AI fucking Inception. Crazy shit. And this is all that you need. Like, don't overcomplicate it. You have a good product with good margins that's selling well, with a good funnel, good creatives. If you get all these 3 things right, you will never worry about money for the rest of your fucking life. And so that's what I wanted to show you guys in this video. I have specific videos on creatives, on funnel, and on product. So I'm not gonna do like a full ass product research video in this one video. Just check out the other videos on my channel if you're interested. And if you want me and my team to kind of build out this whole structure with you and kind of hold your hand through the whole process, just click the second link in the description and you can fill out an application for Brand Builders Academy. This is the mentorship program that I own with my partner, Alex Fedidov, that we've been running, we've been building. We really, really care about the success of our students. So if that's something that you're interested in, just fill out an application, full transparency. We don't accept everybody, because this isn't like a money grab for us. It's something we're really trying to impact the world, impact people. So if that's you, hit the second link in the description. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I will not see fine shit, never again, but I'll see you in the next one. Peace.